I need a hero.
I'm holding on to a hero at the end of the night.
And he's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be fast.
I need a hero.
What else happened in that movie? No, that was
Shrek
when
got turned into a human.
Yes.
A donkey.
Oh my God, human Shrek.
Look, I'm a horse. I can trot. I'm trotting Shrek. I can count. I can win it.
Oh my God.
Trotting a place. Trotting a place. Hey.
This is the Always More podcast.
Hello and hello. It is April 6th and welcome to the Always More podcast, where we believe there is always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversations, and deeper understanding. Today on the pod, we are talking about mediocre energy drinks, fake cakes, sexist voting machines, Ethan Hawke, and so much more. But first, I am your host, Tim Blichty, and sitting across from me is the man, the myth, the legend, and my best friend, Christopher Thomas Ford.
Hey.
And sitting next to me is the Gen Z legend who is above all other Gen Zers, Harley Bianco. How are you doing?
Ooh, I'm well. How are you?
I can actually attest to that. She's above all other Gen Zers. I know quite a few of them. And from having seen them and many Gen Zers in my day, you can tell by the pixels that she's the best.
Well, you know how much I love ranking. I have a ranking system in my phone of all the Gen Zers that I know. And Harley, you're always at the top. So there you go.
So for all of our Gen Z listeners, Tim actually has you all ranked. If you're curious, please send a message.
And find out your rankings
at gmail.com. Let us tell you how great or how awful you are.
Can you imagine? On today's episode.
I don't have to imagine. I've seen the list.
Oh,
Jordan got some news for you, buddy.
Don't get me in trouble.
not Jordan.
Always more nerd. We're gonna talk. You're not
That's
nerdy
all we're
enough.
going to be talking about.
Not nerdy enough.
That's all we're talking about next
I
time.
will be below rank on that one, if that's the case.
Oh man, guys, it's April. It's spring. Welcome. It's getting warm today. The record high is 97 degrees,
Just disgusting.
which I love. I love the warm weather.
I'm going to be honest with you. Sunday, I spent a lot of time outside, like prepping the yard for gardening and stuff. It was really
What are you,
nice.
an adult or something?
Yeah, so when you turn 30, your entire personality becomes either football, grilling, gardening, or cars. I tried the car thing, didn't really work out for me, so
Expensive.
yeah, it's really expensive. Not a huge football fan. I'm not good at grilling. My wife is way better, so I figured, gardening.
Now, by football, do you mean American football?
Yes, absolutely American football. You live in America, Tim. Nobody's
I
calling soccer football here. Nobody's calling soccer football here.
guess not.
Except for the people who are fans of soccer.
It is growing. It is like the largest or fastest growing sport in America right now.
Really?
MLS. I mean, Austin. I mean,
I would have thought it was like darts or something.
No.
Bowling. One of those ESPN The Ocho sports.
I was actually watching that the other night at my bar while I was
Curling.
working. I was like,
The
he's
Ocho.
just grasping the ball. He wasn't even putting his fingers in the holes.
I thought you were talking about ESPN the Ocho. I was like, where is that real?
No!
No, they actually do it, though, every now and then. Like, periodically, they'll just throw it up on ESPN, too. They're like, this week we're doing ESPN The Ocho. And they really will put those sports on.
I love that movie.
It's so insane. If you haven't seen Dodgeball, guys, you need to watch that movie. And pay attention to the background stuff because it's always the best.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
We should all watch it together.
Which is a part of what we're talking about today, which is kind of fun.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, let's move along so we can get to that topic. It is time for our first segment of the day, and that is Rec and Rev. This is a part of the show where we review and recommend things for you to listen, watch, see, hear, taste, or
Smell?
Yeah.
All of the
One of those
senses.
senses. Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, so my Rec and Rev for the week is the smell of lavender and mint. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually one of my new obsessions, and it's probably due to my deteriorating mental health. But my new favorite show across the board, hands down, is a little show on Netflix called Is It Cake?
I haven't watched
Have you
this
guys
yet.
seen
No.
this?
No.
All right, so this is a show where they
Which,
basically...
pause. I'm getting really tired of you watching all these random shows that don't mean anything when I gave you a full, amazing list of nominated and award-winning shows that you choose not to watch or, get into.
Yeah.
And he says, "Is it cake?"
Jesus.
Is that what I think it is? Like they test things to see if they're
continue.
cake or
Yeah.
real?
No, it's exactly what you think it is. So they will put up an array of items, and one of those items is cake. The other items are real. And it's up to the 3 panel chefs of the day to determine which one is cake. Whoever gets it faster gets to choose their item that they are then going to make a replica of out of cake. And then they have to fool 3 other non-baking judges.
Okay.
So like the first 3 people, I think they had to do, oh man, I can't even remember what it was. It was like random pointless things. It was a cheeseburger, a croissant sandwich, and tacos out of cake. So they spend time like designing these cakes, and they get like 8 hours to design, bake, and decorate these cakes to make them look like real objects. And then the host of the show, who's he's all right. He comes out with some type of blade. In the first episode, it was a samurai sword. In one of them, I think he just had like a regular knife. He gets a machete in one of them, like just random blades. And then he cuts into what the judges will decide is cake or not. So it's like, oh, is this shoe an actual shoe or is it cake? And then he'll cut it and he's like, I can't cut it. It's an actual shoe. Or he'll be like, is this burger an actual burger or is it cake? And then he'll cut it and be like, oh, this was cake. And then once the judges have made their decision, he cuts the things. And if the bakers can fool the judges into thinking that their item is real, they move on to the next round, which is a taste test. So the judges get to taste the cake.
Oh, good. So they get to eat the cake too.
What cake is best? Yes. And then the winner of that gets $5,000 on the spot. But there's a next round that winner goes into where they provide 2 bags of money. One is an actual bag of money. One is cake. So the guy's like, all right, since you won the last round, you get to pick. If you pick the right one, you get $5,000. If you pick the wrong one, you get cake.
That's pretty smart.
That's horrible.
So the first episode, they guess, and, they may or may not have gotten it right. No spoilers. Second episode is the other one. So if the first episode got it right, the second, no spoilers. Watching them cut into the cake at the end, though, is like the most nerve-wracking thing. Because like by the time you've watched the whole episode, you're sucked in. You can't stop. So you're like, it's bag 2. You better pick bag 2. I know it's bag 2. Bag 2 is cake. And then it cuts it and you're like, no, it's not cake. So it's like,
so you want it to be cake or do you want it to be the money?
You want it to be cake so that.
Because you're choosing, you want to choose what is the cake, so you get the other thing.
Yeah, you choose the one that is cake. So if you choose the one that's cake and they cut into it and it is cake, you get the $5,000.
Oh, okay.
If you choose the one that's money and you cut into it, you don't get anything.
This reminds me of that game show a little bit from the fake game show from How Much Your Mother, the 50-50.
Yeah, the coin flip. I was telling Janelle, like, this show doesn't feel real. It feels like something you would see in the background of another show, like an iCarly, Drake and Josh type show.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be something that Drake walks in and sits down next to Josh. It's like, what are we watching? Is it cake? Okay. Well, is it? I don't know. You gotta watch to find out.
Definitely be iCarly. Like, I can see Spencer.
Either iCarly or New Girl. And Schmidt watches it during one of his depressive episodes, and he's always right.
1,000%.
Or he just walks in, and Winston's watching it, and he's like, what are you watching? Is it cake? I can't tell. That's cake, Winston. You can see the fondant right there. It's cake. I just think it's a great show. I love it.
All right, I might have to check it out.
You got to check it out. At least one episode.
I feel like it would give me serotonin.
It absolutely will. It'll help.
All right, Harley, you're up next.
So mine is a beverage again. But this one
for those not keeping count.
But this one is up for all. So in theory, I don't know if people can be allergic to this, but it's the Smart Water Ginseng edition.
Oh, I've had those.
They've come out with like different ones. So they have like that one and they have like a lemon one.
Dandelion.
Yes.
I like the dandelion.
They have one, I think that's like cucumber lime, which is a
good.
Big flavor right now.
Yeah.
Big flavor. A lot of different drinks.
I like that.
But I like the ginseng one. It's like green tea-ish kind of water.
They're
it's
like,
so good.
It's like sparkling water without the sparkling.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't actually taste like a flavor of salt, but it's like this water was bottled near a lemon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just gives you a little twang.
My
and it
daughter
just makes
handed me a dandelion, and then I went to work at Smart Water that day. Like that's what it feels like it's not real
Yeah.
flavors, but it's like
Right. Some of them have calories, though.
like I was on the phone with ginseng when I bottled this water. That kind of thing.
That's how I feel with our conversations with Harley here. I feel like some slang and some things are starting to come out. Like I'm starting to text Jessica with spaces in between each letters of a word every once in a while.
Oh, you got to stop that. That's weird. That's weird.
It's so good.
No, it's weird.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's not it's YEAH.
No, but
because there's spaces there.
But like when you read it, like in my mind, when I read it as like, yeah, you know, because it's elongated.
Why not just add the extra letters?
Because that's stupid. It looks goofy. But when you put the spaces, it adds.
It also
it's
looks
aesthetic.
goofy.
No, it's aesthetic.
That is definitely a cultural just difference then.
Because I feel like when you add
Are we old? Is that what's happening?
No, it's subjective. I mean, yes, we are, but it's still subjective.
when you add the letters, I just feel like it's cringy.
All right.
All right.
So we're cringy.
Anyways,
then.
back to the water. Highly recommend it if you like flavored water and you don't like the taste of like plain water.
They sell it at Walmart for like $1.48, I
Oh.
think.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
All right, I'll have to go check it out.
It's so expensive. For water? I remember growing up when water was like 25 cents a bottle, bro.
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
Your age is showing. Anyways, Tim.
All right, so my recommendation, guys, listen to me.
Yours is so deep compared to ours.
I'm gonna try to keep it short because I'm really excited about this movie, but I don't want to have any spoilers or anything. You know I love movies,
Right.
and you know I love like mind-bending, time-related movies. Christopher Nolan, my favorite. He's my favorite film artist of all time. I watched a movie 2 weeks ago called Predestination. And it's older. It's like 2014. And it has Ethan Hawke in it. So Predestination chronicles the life of the temporal agent sent on an intricate series of time travel journeys designed to prevent future killers from committing their crimes. Now, on this final assignment, the agent must stop the one criminal that has eluded him throughout the time and prevent a devastating attack in which thousands of lives will be lost. Now, on the surface, it sounds like, it just sounds like a stereotypical time travel movie. I am telling you right now, this movie, look, unless you're my wife, because anytime, like when we watched Fight Club, when she had never seen Fight Club, I told her, like, this movie is going to have a big twist. And she caught it halfway.
Guessed it immediately.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Like, she's really good at that.
I do the same thing.
If you're not that kind of person, you will enjoy this movie.
All right, so let me take a swing at it then, if you don't mind. Spoilers, possibly.
Okay, spoilers. I'm going to take a moment here for 1 minute.
All right, 1 minute. So I think Ethan Hawke is the main character, right?
Yes.
So I think he has to go back in time to stop himself
Okay. How?
by killing himself. Like he becomes the same villain that he's been hunting the whole time, right?
Yes. That is true. That is true.
I haven't seen this movie. I haven't read this
But-
movie. I never even heard about it
Okay.
until just now.
Now, that's the part you got there in a different way. How much time do we have left?
I don't know. I didn't.
I wasn't
time
paying
Oh, you weren't paying attention?
No, you
Okay.
said you were saying
You
the
got
timer.
you got like still a good couple.
Okay.
seconds.
So it's how you get there, though, that even still you got to the final like solution. It's the how that is still mind bending. So
Is it because he's been killing thousands of people over time?
no. I don't want to spoil anymore. I know we're doing spoilers right now, but
15 seconds.
okay, spoilers for like 10 more seconds, guys. It's because he has like this horrible accident where they change him, and he was also younger. He had a sex change, and so he's actually interacting with his younger self as a female, and so you don't see that's actually him until at the very end after you realize it was a sex change and everything. So transgender, super awesome.
Hey, you're overtime.
If you're back, I just explained like the whole plot of the movie, and it's exciting. It's fun. Even
We'll
so,
put the timestamp. It's fine. It's at like 12,
So
13
the real question I have, was she cute?
yes,
Oh, all right, cool.
yeah.
Wait, what was the? I can't ask.
We can't go back. It's too late. Not unless you're a time traveler.
All right, that is our Rec and Rev. It is time to move on. It is time for Harley's Hot Takes. Give it to us.
Okay, so I'm a college kid. I drink a lot of energy drinks. I
Yeah.
sure do.
Naturally.
As one
As most
does.
people drink energy drinks. They're a big thing. So Red Bull is like really popular
Right.
among like everybody who
Yeah.
drinks like energy.
Everybody likes him.
I don't.
What?
Not a fan. No, I think they're pretty mediocre. They're okay. Like if I'm like, oh, I need an energy drink, and there's Red Bull,
Yeah.
sure, I'll grab one. And there's nothing else, yeah, I'll grab one. But I would prefer to get like nice flavored ones. Like,
You know, Red Bull has nice flavors.
and I've tried them. I think the blueberry one's pretty.
decent.
It's
Pretty all right.
decent, yeah.
Pretty okay.
But like Rockstar has like a good whatever their white flavor is. This one's pretty good. I like the Monster ones that have all of the fancy little art all over them.
The 0 calorie ones.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Those are my favorites.
I like the Monster watermelon.
I haven't tried that one. I need
pretty
to
good.
try it.
Say
But
what you want, Tim. Go ahead.
Say it.
No,
I thought you were doing it on purpose.
I see it in your face. Go ahead, say it. What are you gonna say?
Saying it.
What are you gonna say?
No, 'cause
I know what you're gonna
You were
say.
setting me up. You jerk. You know what you were doing.
I absolutely do, and it's so much fun.
I'm not doing it. Yes,
it.
I agree with you. Red Bull in general, I don't, and that's the thing is a lot of, with these energy drinks is they just add so much sugar to them.
And taurine.
Yeah, and so I like the ones that are like 0 sugar. That's why whenever you bring something over, I ask for like the 0 sugar Red Bull.
I haven't tried the Red Bull, the sugar-free Red Bull. I'm sure that one's pretty good, but like just the regular one makes me.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the regular one. I like the flavored ones. My favorite is the Bang. Birthday cake something.
I haven't tried the bangs.
They're okay.
No, not birthday cake. Well, the birthday
remember-
cake is good. Unicorn, rainbow unicorn. That's the best one.
I remember that a couple years ago there was something about them supporting a certain president, and
Oh no,
I wasn't a huge fan.
no! Don't tell me that.
Yeah, I let you do your own research though, but
Don't tell me that.
yeah,
Look, as long as the president wasn't Reagan, we're fine.
I don't think.
Depends on how long they've been in business, man.
I don't
You
know.
never know. You never know.
But yeah, so that's my hot take. Red Bulls are mid,
Wow.
and I live by that. There are plenty of other better ones.
Thank you for
Fair
that
enough.
assessment.
All right.
All right, guys, we are moving along. It is time for one of our most favorite segments, and that is,
What did I miss?
you went a little deeper this time.
I did. I'm not feeling the high pitch today.
Okay.
I told you.
Still sounds great.
Deteriorating mental health. It's a
Still
thing.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow.
This is the part of the show where we like to present to you some news that you probably didn't hear about. Chris, give it to us.
Do you like turtles?
Love turtles.
Do you like dags? I don't even know what that
Like
is.
what?
What?
Do you like dags? It was a Brad Pitt quote. Never mind. Anyways, moving on. If you like turtles, this story is for you. A man was caught smuggling 1,700 animals from Mexico. It says into Mexico in my notes. From Mexico into the U.S.
Oh.
Animals or turtles?
Well, turtles are in the animal kingdom.
I mean, okay, but like
1,700
Reptiles.
animals in general, just random animals.
Okay.
Non-plants.
Mostly reptiles.
I just think it's interesting that you asked that first question.
A Southern California man, Jose Manuel Perez, is accused of smuggling more than 1,700 reptiles, including baby crocodiles, Mexican bearded lizards, and turtles, into the U.S. since 2016.
Dang!
Wow.
He was taken into custody on February 25th of this year at the San Ysidro border crossing in Mexico.
You're doing so good.
Border Patrol agents found about 60 lizards and snakes tied up in small bags, which were concealed in the man's jacket, pants pockets, and groin area.
What animal is he putting near his groin? That's what I'm curious about
I mean,
here.
I'm hoping it's not the venomous snakes.
Or the snapping turtle, if there is any. Oh.
I mean,
Well, they're
can
all
you
tied
fit
up
a
in.
snapping turtle there?
No,
Give me a
they're
baby
pretty-
one.
He's
Babe,
wearing like cargo pants.
I don't know. I would
Puts them in like
assume
all
so.
the pockets.
It's like 60 different animals in his pants alone. Like, that's insane. Perez allegedly told the agents that the animals were his pets. Could you imagine getting caught like that? Just like at Border Patrol, they're like, do you have any illegal aliens with you? No. Any drugs? No. Anything we should know about? Sir, we're going to have to search you. All right, just don't search my pants. Sir, what the hell is this? It's my friend. And this, also my friend. And this, believe it or not, we're friends too. And this, that's Pedro. You know what you did. We're not friends anymore.
This dude had a narco style thing going on here, but with pets.
Yeah, with the animals.
It's like that scene in Lord of the Rings where they're pulling all the weapons off of the dwarves, and they just keep finding more. It was just like that, but with pets.
Oh my god.
So some of the smuggled reptiles were protected or endangered species. Beginning in January of 2016, Perez and his sister, as well as others, were accused of using social media to buy and sell wildlife in the U.S. Animals included Yucatan and Mexican box turtles.
There you go.
If you like turtles. They were allegedly imported from Mexico and Hong Kong without permits. I understand the Mexico travel. How'd he get animals from Hong Kong?
There's some pretty wild illegal boating going on there.
That's insane. Reptiles were initially taken to Perez's home in Missouri, but later shipped to Oxnard when he moved to California. Prosecutors allege his sister assisted him in the smuggling business, especially during times when he was incarcerated in the U.S., which means he was in jail and smuggling animals.
What a wild migration for these animals, going from all the way from Hong Kong to Missouri. Of all the states in the U.S., like that's where they're going.
I just want to know why.
He's selling
money.
them to money.
He's
yeah.
selling them.
Yeah, but like,
There's a big market for endangered and rare animals.
Yeah.
Billionaires pay a lot of money for dumb stuff.
this is true.
Not even billionaires, millionaires.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage bought a dinosaur head once.
Oh, like
That's a weird
skeleton
man.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. Yes, of course it's a skeleton.
Not a real one, Tim. It wasn't still alive.
Shut up. Well,
So-
that's cool.
There's that.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad he was caught. No more. Well, at least from him.
I'm
no
kind of
more-
sad he was caught.
A little bit. Yeah.
I want more of those animals in the U.S.
but not illegally.
But it might like.
It
why
might
not?
might be hurting from where they're coming from. It might be taking them out of their ecosystem.
It might be bad
You're
for our
absolutely taking them
ecosystem.
out of their ecosystem, and it probably is bad for our ecosystem. But here's the thing.
Fuck it, we bought.
I don't care.
Damn. Harley, take us to the next level, please.
Okay, so mine is about a dog. So Fezco was his name, and
Love
he
it.
was ditched at a shelter because his owners thought he was a gay.
People are really starting to take me out.
A gay couple, Steve Nichols and his partner John ended up what is English today?
You can do it.
Adopting Fezco. And it was because they were like, oh, we face discrimination too, so we'll adopt this dog because its owners thought it was gay and it faced discrimination.
I love that.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. But this was in North Carolina. The original owners saw Fezco humping another dog, which, like, if you really think about it, it's natural.
No, it is 1,000% natural.
They
Like
do it for
it is.
domination. They do it for playtime.
Yeah.
They do it for pleasure in some cases.
But
They
they're-
do it to breed. They do it because they don't know if that's a man or a woman, and they're just
Yeah.
going for
And
it.
they don't care.
They don't care. There's no concept of gender among dogs. Or any animal, for that fact. But anyways,
They're
so...
just as surprised when they get pregnant as we are.
Yes, absolutely.
Whoa.
How could this happen? But yeah, so they turned him into the shelter, and then he got adopted. And it says that the new couple found him, and they were like, we're gonna love him for who he is,
Aw.
his pelvic gyrations and all. So
That's
Yeah.
a direct quote.
yeah,
I love it.
I don't even know what kind of dog he is. He kind of looks, he's a mutt, definitely. I'll show you.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's got some
Looks
German
like a
Shepherd to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's so cute, and yeah, that's about it.
What is the reasoning for dumping a dog because it might be gay? Like,
Yeah, that's bonkers. Like,
if
oh my
you're-
gosh, this dog's
you
gonna
can't
make my
even
kid
say it's
gay.
a religious thing because all dogs go to heaven, gay or straight, doesn't matter.
Right.
So, like, why does it matter to you?
There's a whole movie on
They
that.
probably think it's contagious.
There's like 3 movies.
Yeah.
They think the gay is contagious. They're gonna catch the gay.
I mean,
from a dog.
that's exactly why, the gay conversion therapy exists.
That's true.
That made me really sad.
Yeah. You want some happy news?
I would love some. Thank you.
Okay, this is really great happy news, guys. So this is like my 3rd week in a row, by the way, that I'm bringing you happy, uplifting news. So
We love to
you're
see
welcome.
I appreciate it.
The Denver STAR program, it's a program that sends unarmed health experts instead of police officers, is expanding after 2 years of resounding success.
Yay!
I'm so pumped about it.
This is, guys, I don't care whose side you agree on. This is good news. It is
to all the
working.
conservative listeners, all 3 of you guys, facts don't care about your feelings.
Look. Just look. I don't mean to push any buttons, but this is a good, positive thing.
Right.
We have tried out a new system, a new way of de-escalating issues at homes with people who don't have weapons on them, and it's working. That's a good thing.
I'm pumped about it.
So, according to Elise Schmelzner, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Schmelzer?
Smeltzer.
Schmeltzer.
At the Denver Post, quote, the program known as STAR began 20 months ago with a single van and a 2-person team. More than 2,700 calls later, STAR is getting ready to expand to 6 vans and more than a dozen workers. Growth, the program's leader, hope will allow the teams to respond to more than 10,000 calls a year.
That's what we need.
Yeah, let me continue these quotes because it's really good stuff. STAR is an example of a program that has worked for those it has contact with. Councilwoman Robin Knight. Yeah, I'm horrible with names. Said Monday before the council approved the contract, it is minimizing unnecessary arrest and unnecessary costs, whether that be jail cost or emergency room costs, and has done so for less than 1% of the calls coming into the city that it might be eligible for. It matters that we are scaling it up. Since the launch, STAR paramedics and
Clinicians.
Man, we are just
Yeah, no,
over
it's
today.
bad today. It's real bad.
They have responded to more than 2,700 calls, according to Harley Stallion, there's no T there. STAR operation manager. STAR providers haven't called Denver police for backup for any of their calls, she said.
That's awesome.
2,700 calls. Not once was a police officer actually needed.
Yeah.
Defund the police.
Yeah. So this is great news. This shows that it works and it's working and they need more of it.
Oh, yeah.
Great things. Positive things.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I got.
Yay.
Cool.
Love
I'm
to
here
see
for
it. Because I've taken a couple criminal justice classes from high school and in college, and it's just very well known that the training on de-escalation in the criminal justice system is horrible.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting. I'm sad that it's only in Denver, but I'm glad that it's expanding to the point where it could potentially be in other places.
Yeah.
I think Texas will probably be one of the last places to get it.
It always is.
Oh, yeah.
Always is.
Yep. Well, guys, that is our What Did I Miss? Thank you guys for listening and hearing all of our fun, amazing things. It is now time to move on to our main segment of today. Wow. All right, we're moving on, guys. We'll be back after this quick break.
After a short message.
All right, everybody. We are back.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh,
We are
okay.
recording, and we are back.
Cool. Sweet. Awesome. I'm here for it. Let's go.
All right, guys. Today, we are talking about the movies that shaped us. So a year ago today, Chris and I did an episode about our favorite movies of all time. And we want to do something a little bit different. For one, Harley's here with us, and it's a new perspective. And I'm sure there's different movies along this list.
Yeah.
But we kind of, these are movies that just meant a lot to us, that kind of what we felt like maybe shaped us and, you know, made us who we are, or at least had some life-changing moments, or I don't know, maybe kind of
Some kind of emotional attachment.
yeah, like we remember it vividly. We think of it differently. It maybe made us act differently at the time, and there's definitely some of those for me in this list. So we're going to divide this up into 3 categories, and that is based on our age ranges. So the first one will be childhood, the next one will be our teen years, and then our last one will be, of course, adulthood.
So the last one will just be you and I then. Because Harley's 12.
On a scale of 1 to 10. I'm just kidding. Yeah, probably.
Good one.
All right, so we're not going to go into like great detail for every movie, but we thought you might be entertained. Like, we wanted to just have a nice, easy, laid-back episode, and so we thought you might like to listen to some of the movies maybe you didn't remember that might bring some flashbacks. Because the other day when I posted that on Instagram, like, hey, what does a VHS remind you of? There were some movies that I totally forgot about. Like, one was Flubber. Totally forgot about that. But
I love Flubber.
It's a great movie.
Foundational. for
Yeah.
me.
Totally forgot about that, but it was such a, like, I can remember, like, him putting the stuff on the basketball and that whole scene.
Yeah.
Where it's like bouncing over the.
Yes.
Yes.
I like when he put it on the player's butt. And like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Or I remember one specific one is when he put it, like, he sprayed it on the towel and he threw the towel and the towel just bounced off. It's just totally out there, random. Couldn't remember it unless I was told about it, and so that's what we wanted to do today. Is just kind of
have some fun.
So let's dive into it. Talk about our childhood films. Chris, how about you give us some of your favorite childhood films?
All right, so some of my favorites. First off, let's do shout out to James Bond and Indiana Jones. I probably shouldn't have watched those as young as I did. because there's some stuff in them.
I deliberately.
But those are my, like, I watched James Bond with my grandpa and I watched Indiana Jones with my dad. Those are great movies. But the three that I picked for this particular topic were Mrs. Doubtfire, Jurassic Park, and Pokemon, the first movie.
Come on. Nice.
So all of them foundational for who I am as a person.
Yeah.
It
Mrs.
makes
Doubtfire,
sense.
I definitely see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
No, you are Robin Williams in a way. You are just so loving and you're so kind.
Oh my
appreciate
God.
that.
Maybe that's why I love you so much.
I mean, seriously.
I love Robin Williams.
Stop. No, truthfully, that's why I love Mrs. Doubtfire, because Robin Williams is like my favorite actor. I took his death really hard.
Same. I was like in 7th grade and I was like,
Yeah,
my
I still
God.
can't talk about it without getting emotional. So we'll skip over Mrs. Doubtfire. But obviously that's the story of a man who loved his family and
You did whatever it
did
took.
some crazy stuff to be near his kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, everybody knows. They clone dinosaurs and it goes exactly how you would expect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pokemon, the first movie, though. Most people from our generation are familiar with this movie.
I am not.
I wasn't allowed to watch it.
I said most. All right, so it follows young Ash Ketchum, 10-year-old Pokemon master in training, his friends Brock and Misty, as they get an invite to a mysterious island where they are going to be proving their worth as Pokemon trainers. Come to find out, the host of the island is Mewtwo, a genetically created Pokemon, synthetically created Pokemon, I should say, cloned from Mew, which is a natural occurring Pokemon, crazy powerful, who hates all humans. And then it's up to Ash and his friends to prove that not all humanity is bad, and Mewtwo has a place in this world. It went way deeper than any cartoon should. There's a lot of like really tear-jerking moments. There's a scene. It came out in like the late 90s, so spoiler alert.
Yeah.
We're like 20 years behind. But there's a scene where Ash dies, and I still to this day will cry anytime that scene is mentioned, not just shown, but like if somebody's like, "Oh, you remember that scene in Pokemon?" I'm like, "Shut up. Shut up, man. I can't." It was like one of the hardest scenes to ever watch in a movie for me as a kid, and it proved to me that regardless of a person's birth, they have worth. And that is a lesson I took from that.
That's good. Man, that's good. All right, I'm gonna continue this. So you had Jurassic Park, and that was one of mine too. I just remember that was one of the first films that scared the living crap out of me as a kid.
Yeah, it should have.
yeah.
Dinosaurs are terrifying.
I was too young to watch the first one when it first came out, but by the time the second one came around, I was old enough to watch them both and kind of really understand.
And that was the one where they were like in America, like
Yes.
roaming the streets.
Yes, there was that one scene. Harley, have you seen Jurassic? No? Okay.
Lost World, Jurassic Park. It's the second one.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
I've seen Jurassic World.
yeah.
All right. Well,
It's not
all
as
of
good.
the Jurassic Parks are on HBO.
I don't have money.
And I have DVDs.
Oh, okay.
And okay, so anyways, yeah, there's that one scene in Lost World where like there's a T-Rex loose in San Diego, and it like goes next to this house, and it like comes by this boy's window, and he's like, he just looks at it. He's not freaking out. He just looks at it like, oh, there's a monster. So he goes to his parents' room, and he's like, look, there's a monster, and they're like, go back to bed, Timmy. And I don't know if that's actual name, but that's what I imagined.
know. But the dad's like, it's that dang fish tank you bought him. It's too bright. So they like walk into the room arguing about this kid's fish tank, and then they look out the window, and there's a T-Rex, and they're just that ate their dog, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like it's got the doghouse hanging out of its mouth.
Oh my
It's bad.
God.
It's traumatizing.
Yeah,
for sure.
So for sure, there's at least a few months where I had nightmares in bed because I would
Wow.
like through the window there'd be like a tree branch. I was like, there's a T-Rex. So yeah, that was a big one. Some other crazy memorable ones. Shrek, because I mean that was a cultural
Yeah.
thing. I mean,
Absolutely, it is.
we took a school trip to go see that movie.
Really?
Yes, yeah, I remember it was like one of the first ones.
Super jealous.
Yeah,
I think I was in Christian school when that came out, so that was not about to happen.
you remember the green ketchup?
Hallelujah was in there. You totally could have seen it.
No.
Apparently, as a child, I had a really bad experience with that. I
Green
was
ketchup?
Yeah, I ate it, and my diaper was apparently real bad.
Oh,
Real bad
well,
afterwards.
yeah, it's green ketchup. It's just
according
food
to
dye.
my,
Yeah,
my cousin who had to take care of me.
gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything was greened out.
Yes.
It was just, I remember that going to the store and like, Why is there so much great? Shrek. Yeah.
Shrek.
My daughter loves Shrek, and I watch it with her
she
like
should.
Our kids too.
once or twice a week, easy.
Yeah.
Every day I turn on Netflix. Crack? Because she can't say Shrek. She says crack.
Oh,
All right.
She's
she's
adorable.
so cute.
Another one that was a big one for me. Remember the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Self-explanatory. It's a great film about racial tension and I mean everything. It's set in the 70s, so obviously it's all about desegregation and so it's a great film. If you don't know it, then
Do better.
yeah.
That's it. That's all I got for you.
And then the biggest one for me, and I know it's stereotypical, but this one truly, I saw this in the movie theaters.
Yep.
This movie was made for people like Chris and me. It was Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Now, prior to that, I did see the other Star Wars, and I was a fan of Star Wars. But
Yeah.
having been able to watch
Go
this in
see
the
a Star
theaters,
Wars movie in a theater. Like, that's...
it was life changing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, genuinely, that's when I liked Star Wars at the time, but that's when I truly began to love. That's when they began coming out with Star Wars Legos, and they started coming out with all these other animations like the Clone
Yep.
Wars. All this was sparked because of Phantom Menace, and
That's
so
cool.
yeah, great memories.
People
because
say
of
it's
that
the
movie.
worst one, but I love it.
Cinematically, is it the greatest piece of art out there? No,
No.
but
Probably
is
not.
is it a but is it a great film because of what it
Absolutely.
means to a culture? Absolutely.
Absolutely. It shaped a
Absolutely.
generation for sure.
Yeah. Harley, what you got, Gen Zer?
Okay, I have a lot. So sorry. I'm not going to summarize all of them because hopefully most people know these. So my first one is we talked about this the other day. This is foundational to who I am as a person. So like the Bring It On movies in general, all the series, but specifically the Fight to the Finish one with like the sharks and the jets. Oh my God.
I'm
Is that
I'm
just
gonna be
West
honest.
Side Story?
No.
I'm gonna be honest.
I
I have
mean-
no idea what this is.
It's a cheer movie, like a cheerleading movie.
Okay.
You never heard any of the cheers from Bring It On?
I guess not.
Brr, it's cold in here. There must be some toros in the atmosphere.
And they stole that one from the Clovers.
From the Clovers.
Yeah,
They,
it's crazy.
they appropriated black culture
yeah.
in
Yeah.
that movie.
And then they lost, which they deserved. But anyways,
Absolutely. They did.
the one that I'm talking about is like a big ultimate cheer thing, and it was at like a theme park, and it was just and they lost the cheer stick, and all this bad juju started happening. Just foundational
Let
to
me
who
tell
I
you.
am as a person.
I used to work at Disney World, and I've been there during the cheer stuff because that's a
Right.
real thing.
Yeah,
Those people are awful.
insane. Yeah,
They're the worst. I would never want to go through that again
Yeah.
if I had the opportunity to not,
right.
but still work at Disney. Like I would.
Just take off that like
you
month
can't,
or whatever.
You can't
Why not?
because they need all hands on deck.
That's
There are
ridiculous.
so many people there,
Yeah.
and they're all just the worst people.
Yeah. But basically, they had like a cheer off little thing in the streets.
Yeah.
And then members on both teams like got injured, so then they had to combine, and then they won. And they had to like come together and be
together.
friends.
Right now.
So that was
Over me. Dum, dum, doodly, dum.
that's pretty good.
It's the Beatles.
Yeah, dude. Okay. So my next honorary mention is very similar. So these are the dance movies.
yeah.
Step Up.
Okay.
And this one's To the Streets with like
I've heard
You
of
want to
these.
step up to me, to the streets? You gonna step up to the streets?
Is that a quote?
I don't know.
I was like, I don't recall
I'm
that.
not well, guys.
But basically, it's very good. And there's the character Moose, and I was in love with him. Everybody should be in love with him. So, but Channing Tatum was like, I think her sibling or something, or brother, or cousin, whatever the hell.
I think I've seen this with Jess.
So good. There's the dance scene in the rain. Foundational. So good.
All right, so I'm definitely not even remembering the right movie. I think the one I'm thinking of is Stomp the Yard.
Probably.
Chris Brown gets hit in the head with a brick.
Yeah, you're definitely thinking of the wrong one.
Yeah, definitely not the same movie.
But yeah, still good. Still good movie.
They're all dance movies to me.
My other one, Chris.
All right, sorry.
Okay. The next one that I want to talk about is Shrek 2.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was all.
It's a thong.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
Like that is my humor.
Yeah.
That I love that movie with every fiber of my being.
That had the best cover of any song ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hero.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need a hero.
Fairy godmother. She's
Yeah.
killing it.
She slayed that.
Yes.
Like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Yes, so good.
She said C minor. Put it in C minor.
And Shrek produced great memes for years to come. It just
It still
it
produces
would've
great
thought?
memes.
keeps on coming.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Not us.
The next one is The Sandlot.
Oh, so
Duh.
good.
Yes,
Come on.
absolutely.
So good.
Sandlot.
I don't even need to say what that's
Yeah.
about.
Everybody
seen
loves
it.
Sandlot.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're wrong.
You're just wrong. Just wrong.
Want some more of what?
You're killing me, Smalls. S'mores.
My last one that I'm not going to elaborate on because everybody should have seen it is Lion King 1.5.
That was a good one.
That.
Is
yeah.
everything.
Oh, love
It
Lion
follows
King 1.5.
Timon and Pumbaa. Need I say more?
Look
12 out
beyond what you see.
of 10. So good. I'm not going to elaborate. Just that is my childhood. So good.
Good stuff.
Good
And then they do the
childhood.
dancing scene.
Good childhood.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Dig a
Oh
tunnel,
yeah.
dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel, dig a big tunnel, dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel. What was that? Whoosh, whoosh. Quick before the hyena comes.
Yes.
Wow.
Ah,
Nice.
so good.
I can dig it, he can dig it, she can dig it, we can dig it, they can dig it, you can dig it, everybody dig it. Yeah. I love that movie.
Impressive.
That
yeah.
was good. That was good.
This is not one that Ellie has watched recently,
Oh,
so
me.
that's just even more impressive, I
That
guess.
is absolutely.
All right, let's
Absolutely.
move on to our teen years. And Harley, you're going to pick it up again.
Yes.
So let's dive
Most
in.
of these I will also not be elaborating on because most people have probably seen them. Except for this first one, probably. It's called Love, Rosie. It's got Lily Collins in it, and it's got Sam Claflin.
Already sold. I love Lily Collins.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
Did you know that she is Phil Collins' daughter?
I did know that.
Did you
because
know
I'm
that
obsessed
he
with her.
wrote all of those songs in Tarzan
I
for
did.
her?
Oh,
That's just
not
like-
for her, but I knew
Yeah,
he
like
wrote
You'll
them.
Be in My Heart. He wrote that for her.
He didn't have to go that hard on that album.
He didn't.
He
He
did
did
not.
that for her and for us.
Yeah.
So good. So good. But yeah, Love, Rosie. It's basically about like her and her male best friend and how they're like lovers that are supposed to, never works out in her life and this, that, and the other, from being like a teenager to owning her own business and being a teen mom and all this stuff. So good. Love it. 12 out of 10. It's one of my comfort movies. The next one is, it's multiple. So any major series of films.
Yeah, this stuff was really
like-
coming out when you were a teen. Yeah.
From like 2000, was it like 10 to like 2015, I think was like the major ones.
I graduated in 2010.
Ooh. It might even extend because of all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So basically like Hunger Games. I got called Katniss every day when that movie came out. If I braided my hair, my name was no longer Harley. It was Katniss Everdeen. Maze Runner, Dylan O'Brien. Don't even get me started.
Oh, yeah.
I
Jess
think I've
loves
only
him.
seen like the first Maze Runner.
You're even the second is pretty good.
You're not
Third-
missing out after the second one.
Okay.
I have not watched the third. They're nothing like the books though. So
The books are better, I'm assuming.
just always every time. Divergent. Oh my God, Tobias! Don't even.
I don't
get me
think I
started.
finished Divergent either. I know I watched like the first two.
I
I
definitely.
might have.
I did
seen
not watch the
third
last one. I did not watch the last one because I heard that it was
Also
not
disappointing.
Yeah, and not like the book as always. But basically, by panic all throughout these years, it was horrible.
It explains so much.
Yeah, so just a really tough time. Oh, Sam Claflin was also in freaking Hunger Games. That was tough.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing Katniss and what was his Pete? No, what's his name?
PETA?
No. That Peeta's the other dude. No, his name is Finnick. Finnick.
Oh, yeah. Finnick O'Dare
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
from District 4.
There was this one meme that I said to Kenzie's mom, and I think we were watching Hunger Games, and she was like, "Where's Finnick?" And I was like, "Oh, there he is."
I saw that coming. I saw it coming.
So good. But yeah,
so
so
mad at
all
it.
of those major film series,
Yeah.
my life as a teenager.
The book. That's when the books, like the book things, like after the success of Harry Potter, all these other
Right.
people were
Yeah,
like,
they were trying to do
Right.
the same thing, trying to replicate
Absolutely. And like with Twilight and stuff like that too. Those were not foundational to my childhood.
it. Twilight specifically.
Yeah, I was not a little furry vampire wolf girl. I don't claim that. The last two that I will mention are Footloose, but specifically the 2011 version. Super good. And then Selena.
Yes.
Even though that's an old one, I
Yes.
didn't watch it until my teen years.
Selena, I think for every Hispanic child growing up, that was foundational for us.
Right.
It's a good one.
You'll notice, like, there's not any person under the age of 40 nowadays named Yolanda.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Yeah, as there shouldn't be.
That became like a, oh, you're going to name your kid Yolanda? Why not just name him Judas?
Oh, man.
All right.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Chris?
So my movies, as
Oh.
I mentioned before,
Quality stuff.
Boondock
I
Saints.
thought you just said no. I was like, oh.
He said bro.
Oh.
Boondock Saints.
Come on, man.
Probably still my favorite
So-
movie.
yeah.
About
Still need to
two
watch it.
Irish twin brothers that accidentally end up in a bar fight killing Russian mafia people. And then they realize, hey, we're pretty good at this. We could clean up Boston. And they just start killing more mobsters and more bad guys. And it becomes like a religious thing for them where they just do the Lord's work and
You
kill
watched
villains.
this as a
Oh,
yeah.
teenager?
You're
yeah.
going to see in mine next that we were allowed to, I don't know how we were allowed to watch some of these things, but
Oh, we were not actually allowed. We just figured it was better to ask forgiveness than permission.
that's true.
Yeah, my brother showed me this movie, and he is 12 years older than I am. So
Whoa, Willem Dafoe is in it?
Willem Dafoe,
Wow.
yes,
Norman Reedus?
and Norman
Yeah.
Reedus.
He was
Sean
a
Patrick
baby.
Flannery, Rocco Della Rocco, or David Della Rocco, sorry. All kinds of really cool. Bob Marley's in this movie.
They're making a third one, aren't they?
They keep saying they are, but I don't know if they actually are.
Mm.
But Bob Marley's in the movie as well. The comedian Bob Marley, not the musician,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is hilarious to me. But by far one of my favorite movies of all time. Still top 5 for sure.
It didn't make a lot at the box office.
No, it did not.
No,
It's a cult classic.
It is very much so, yeah.
It is a cult classic. If you find a fan of Boondock Saints, they can tell you anything about that movie.
Yeah.
But finding them is few and far
Far
between.
between.
Another one that was shaping who I was as a child growing up, School of Rock.
Yes.
Jack
Yes.
Black
Yes,
in
okay,
his role,
okay.
like there is no better character
For it.
for
No.
like Jack Black could not have been picked for a better role than this one.
Yes.
Watching him be a teacher to these kids. What's her face from Drake and Josh and iCarly?
Miranda Cosgrove?
Miranda Cosgrove, thank you.
yes.
What's her
she-
favorite cuss word? I'm just kidding.
Probably fuck. Anyway, sorry if you're not on the internet, you don't get that. But what's her name?
It's been so long since I've seen that one. Like I'm trying to think of the kid actors.
I don't remember any of the other kid actors. I know one of them ended up in jail for stealing guitars, which is hilarious to me.
I forgot about that.
But that
Got a
movie
whole
was pretty
movie
great,
about music, and you choose to steal guitars.
right? Like you couldn't have put your money away. Or bought a
Sarah
guitar?
Silverman, Lucas Bauman.
I just think in general, Jack Black, as an actor, was foundational for my
Oh
childhood.
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Oh,
Any
yeah.
one of his roles,
Yeah.
and I picked School of Rock because Tim wrote his notes first.
No, you put your next one. I totally forgot about, but it's just as important
Yeah.
to me too.
And then another one that I watched, and between my next one and Boondock Saints, I literally had them on repeat, like to help me sleep at night.
Really?
I would pick one of those two, and I would just throw it in the DVD player and just let it play, and like that would help me sleep. Boondock Saints, School of Rock, and A Knight's Tale
Yes.
with Heath Ledger.
So good. Have you not seen A Knight's Tale?
Oh my god,
Oh my god.
we
I don't
need
think
to watch
so.
This
movie.
has to happen.
It is such.
Thi-
a
This
good
is
movie.
like Scott Pilgrim. Like again, like we need it. You need to see
Oh, okay.
It is god tier of a movie. So Heath Ledger,
He's so attractive. Oh my god.
this. Heath.
Yes.
he is, yeah.
12 out of 10.
Um,
Okay.
but
go
Heath
ahead.
Ledger is a poor knave
Peasant.
born into a family that basically sells him off to a knight to be a squire. And right before a big fight, their knight dies. And they were poor as it was, so like he has to win this fight or they don't eat. But since he's dead, he can't fight. So he throws on his knight's armor and he's like, I'm the knight. And they win the fight and he's like, we can do this. Which I'm realizing is a big trope of movies that I like. Like people that get thrown into random situations and then they're just like, I can do this. That's mostly my life.
This is fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Everything's on fire, but this is fine.
So that's the basis of it. as a knight, he starts gaining popularity, gaining money. He gets introduced to this woman that he falls in love with, and by the end of the movie, he has to prove that he's worthy of actually being a knight when they find out, hey, you weren't born noble.
Right.
And no, spoiler alert, he does, because it's that movie. So.
Yeah.
But that was a
that guy.
really good movie, and you can see the whole movie playing out from a mile away, and you still love it because it's great. There's music in it. They do like weird dances. You get to see Heath Ledger being awkward and adorable. It was such a good movie. I'm a huge fan of A Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So good.
I need to watch.
All right, so to repeat your Chris, your movies that you probably shouldn't have watched this early in age. The Godfather.
Wow.
Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have watched The Godfather as a teen.
This was not only because it was such a great film, like it is just universally a great film, but because I am part Italian, this was
you were gonna say
this was a movie that I latched on to because of
Yeah.
that fact.
Yeah.
Like
Identity politics.
yes, very
101.
much so. So I mean, we dressed up as mobsters. I remember for one Halloween, Chris. You remember that?
I do. I remember that. It was great.
Yeah. That was also just a season of our lives, and I think maybe just culturally too, of like mobster movies and like these I can't remember. It's just like a trend. So The Godfather was definitely one of the big ones. If you haven't seen it, you should. It's like one of those just culturally like historic movies. And actually, they're having a miniseries coming out soon called The Offer, which shows about how the movie was made. And let me tell you, it's crazy. It is absolutely like it involves like legit real murders and real crazy things.
There was a lot of weirdness that went on with the Godfather movies.
Just making the movie.
What?
Yeah, it's based off a book, but just getting the movie made was it's a roller coaster.
Oh yeah,
It's a roller
A
coaster.
concept.
intrigue, insanity, murder.
Next up, not involving murder, Nacho.
Who?
Nacho Libre. This is by far probably the least quality film of all the movies on this list.
Right.
But it is still
Their budget of like $16.28.
It was during that time of when all these movies like Napoleon Dynamite, like these just purposely low quality movies that were coming out. They're just hilarious on their own accord. And it's not even that hilarious, but it was because you watch it as a group and with friends. And it just to me,
we quoted this movie so much.
it's like the corn thing. That's something that we continuously carry on. And it's just one of those films that just brings you back. You can quote it and you feel like you're in middle school again.
I love that it's on TikTok now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and make soup. It's the best.
My life is
I get to
good.
sleep in a bed all by myself
Yes.
for the rest of my life. It's fantastic.
Like literally, I think every like Christmas, right before Christmas break in high school, one of the ROTC instructors would play this movie, and we would have to go watch it. Like, we didn't have a choice.
Yes.
We had to go watch it.
It's
These are my
phenomenal.
recreation clothes. My robes were stinky.
Did you know that I've had diarrhea since Easter's?
I am just concerned for your immortal soul because you have not been baptized. In nomine Patri et Filii Spiritus.
Oh, I love that movie.
That
And
movie's so great.
this last one, it was a big one for me because it kind of really reinforced my love for history and just adventure, Indiana Jones style. I didn't put
Which
Indiana
is
Jones.
insane because there's like almost no real history in this.
Oh,
True.
yeah, no.
Very true. But that is National Treasure. It is a national treasure.
I think so. Nicolas Cage. What's his name? Adam. Was he?
I
That
don't
wasn't Adam,
remember.
Adam Yao. What was his name?
Were you about to say Yelnats?
No. Adam Yelnats.
Holes! Totally
Holes.
forgot about holes.
What is wrong with us?
That one was
I have a few that have been popping in my head as we've been
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about other ones, so I think I'll probably mention them at the end.
ARMP to the T. What is that you smelling? A dog? That's me. I don't take showers and I don't brush my teeth. That's all I do is dig holes deep and sleep.
Nice.
That was what's his name?
Zero.
Armpit.
Oh,
Yeah.
armpit.
I
Yeah.
spelled it in the beginning.
Yeah.
There we go.
Benjamin
I
Gates.
can't spell. Come on, get that
Where'd
out.
I get Adam from?
I don't know.
Benjamin.
But you had Sean Bean in there, Justin Bartha, Diane Kruger, John Voight. A lot of. It's a fun adventure film. Has very little real history in it, and it's just. But that movie kind of like it came out during the time when I was really getting into history again, Mr. Pierce, and middle school history. That time frame was just like a reinforcement of like, yes, I really love history.
Sean Bean died in that movie, right?
Like as a character?
Yeah.
I don't remember, to be honest. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
He was Shaw. Shaw died at the end of that movie. And I'm realizing I don't think I've seen one movie with Sean Bean where he didn't
that's
die.
true. That's probably right. He always dies. He always goes
I think
dead.
he has like the most on-screen deaths of any actor ever.
Yeah.
I wonder if he like purposely signs up for those because he
Probably.
knows that it'll.
Do I die?
Look, do
I'm
I
in.
die? If I don't, we're going to need a rewrite.
He's like, I want this cut short. Just get me in, get me out.
Yeah.
Some honorary mentions that were brought up in my brain due to everybody else's. What is that called? Night at the Museum. All
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
12 out of 10. The Incredibles popped in my brain as well.
Yeah, I purposely didn't list any Disney movies because like there's too many. Like
Yeah,
those
that's true.
like
Yeah.
we were raised on Disney movies in the 90s and early 2000s.
Well, Disney movies and Jesus movies.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, facts.
that
But
just
yeah,
was-
Holes also popped in my head.
which is a Disney movie.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
What? I feel like
Yeah,
it's Pixar for
Shia
some
LaBeouf
reason.
was like a not contractually obligated Disney actor, but like most of his stuff
Even
was
Stevens.
Disney
Mm.
because of Even Stevens.
Oh, that makes sense.
Also, we're gonna skip over all of the made-for-TV movies like Smart House and Even Stevens on Vacation and all of those.
Oh
'cause
yeah, no.
it's too many of those. Johnny Tsunami.
All right, you ready to move along?
I think so. Oh, Transformers is also an honorary.
Oh yeah, Transformers.
I remember liking the first one, but
The first one, that's
it's
it.
okay.
Just that one.
Just the first one.
Just
Yeah.
the first
Not
one.
Transformers too.
All right, Adulthood. I will start off this one, and we've kind of already talked about this with our last movie episode, but I thought I might just go over it one more time. Interstellar. It's look, these films are my favorite because they mean something to me. So Interstellar, Warrior, and 13th. That is a new one, but it's a documentary, but it is one of those films that, and look, all documentaries have a bias, but that's the point of documentaries. But this movie really opened my eyes to just how screwed up. Like genuinely, I've already seen some of the stats. I've already seen some of the things, but to just, and that's what the point of movies. That's the point of documentaries. Is it makes it more relatable. It makes it easier to swallow in a way. It makes it easier to digest and really take it in. Because sometimes words on a paper, it just depending on where you're sitting, it doesn't mean as much. But when you're watching something, you're seeing like, oh wow, this is horrible. So that's a new one that it just means a lot because I couldn't recommend it enough to everyone. But then I'll end with this one, and it's Moneyball. I know I think I listed it as one of my favorites from the last time we did the movies episode, but for you guys who haven't seen it, it's probably my favorite sports movie of all time that has very little to do with sports. Like it does, but I don't know how to explain it. Well, here's the synopsis. Oakland A's GM Billy Beane is handicapped with the lowest salary constraint in baseball. If he ever wants to win the World Series, Billy must find a competitive advantage. Billy is about to turn baseball on its ear when he uses statistical data, which that's like speaking my love language, to analyze and place value on players he picks for the team. And underlying all that is his relationship with his daughter and how much he tries to have control over baseball and how he realizes towards the end of the film that he's been letting go of control with his relationship with his daughter. And he ultimately chooses correctly and chooses his daughter. But it's one of my most favorite films. It's also got some of my most favorite music. It's got music from This Will Destroy You in there. Brad Pitt is one of my most favorite actors. This movie, I remember when I first watched it, it made me weep. It just did. And it just,
I don't think I cried, but I do remember this movie being really emotional.
It was one of the first films I watched too that was very different because of just its style. Like there were some what you would call action scenes where it's high paced, but a lot of it is just laid back and it's a drama. It's very much it's connecting to the characters and letting that flesh out. And so yeah, those are mine. Harley.
Nice. Oh, geez. Okay. So my first one is Tenet. I watched it with Tim and Jess.
Yes.
And I'm so glad I did
It's a
because
great one.
I genuinely don't think I would have grasped anything that occurred in that movie had we not been able to like pause and for me to ask questions. Like genuinely, I don't think it would have all went over my head. But it was phenomenal. Once I like grasped all of it, I was like, my brain is mush. It is so good. It was such a good movie.
Yeah.
My second one is Just Mercy. If you've seen it,
that's a great one.
You know, if you haven't, you need to. And then basically I did a whole other, the new era of Disney movies with like the thing. I saw somebody say recently as a quote that it's millennials taking back, or like something along the lines of millennials teaching parents how to raise their kids.
How to apologize.
How to apologize. There we go.
Yeah.
To their children. And
Yeah, because the movies being made by our generation now
Yes.
don't have like legitimate villains in them. It's basically
family.
like
and it's the people who are
Yeah.
closest to you, which is
Exactly.
freaking bonkers.
Yeah.
Because that's really how it be.
and they still don't get it.
And they still don't get it. But as long as you guys get it, because the rest of them are going to,
Yeah.
Die off eventually.
I think Gen Z and Gen Alpha, y'all will be all right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then lastly is Dead Poets Society.
Wow. What a stellar one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I started watching it in one of my English classes in high school, and I was like,
What a time to watch it.
yeah, fixated to the screen, and then we never finished it. She just never
Oh my
finished.
gosh.
Yeah, and so for
The
like
ending is where everything is.
I know. Oh my. And so I like for years was trying to find this film on like any streaming site. It's never on Netflix. It's not on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It's not on like Hulu until like recently. I think it was on Amazon Prime, like Prime. Like you don't have to pay for it. And I was like, this is it. This is my time to shine. I can finally watch it. Phenomenal. It broke me.
I have that movie. I've had it for a long time, and if I had known you were looking for it, I would have given it to you.
Well,
It is one of my absolute favorites because as a writer and poet myself and a massive Robin Williams fan,
Right?
like,
Yeah.
right.
bro, oh, that movie. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
So good.
I write when I'm sad.
Yeah.
And when Robin Williams died, I wrote a piece titled, Oh, Captain, My Captain.
Chris.
I'll find it for you. You can read that one too.
Heck yeah.
I'll give you all my
So I
writings.
can sob
you can
for
read
the
all of them.
next 7
Oh
to
yeah,
10
if you want to
business
cry,
days.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Chris, wrap
All
it
right.
up, brother.
So for me, my 3. Bad Teacher.
Still haven't seen it.
It wasn't even a great movie. Like it was Cameron Diaz
Oh,
and
yeah.
Justin Timberlake. It was funny. It was great. The reason I chose it is because it was actually Janelle and my first date. Yeah. So it was.
What a
Hilariously
movie
out.
to go see.
Yeah, no,
for a
it
date.
was real awkward, but it was fun. We had a good time. We loved that movie. We
got
still laugh
married,
about it.
so-
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it works out.
I think the best line in that whole movie, there's a scene, this will not be for children, but there's a scene where Justin Timberlake and Cameron Diaz are dry humping.
You know what? Maybe I did see this.
Your jeans feel so good against my jeans.
I was working at the theater. That's how.
That's so
Yeah.
bad.
I died laughing, and I still think about that at least once a week. Your jeans feel so good against my jeans.
That makes me want to vomit.
It should. It's bad. But that one, it was pretty funny. You can go check it out. Black Panther.
Yeah.
Because of what it means to the culture, like just
Right.
everything that it did, and it was just a freaking great
Yeah.
movie. Oh my god, it was so good. The soundtrack, the visual effects,
Yeah.
the actors.
Just phenomenal.
I can't say enough good things about Black Panther. If you have not seen Black Panther, you're racist. That's all there is to it. Like, even if you don't like superhero movies, you have to have seen that one or you're racist. That's just it.
Speak your truth.
And then my last one, and I don't know if technically this one counts as an adult time period.
Did you watch it as an adult?
I watch it weekly.
Oh, yeah.
But
sure.
you first watched it. Wait, when did it come out?
When did you
I
first
don't
watch
really
it?
know.
Name the movie.
I'm pretty sure it was like 2011. Scott Pilgrim
Yeah.
versus the World.
Yeah.
So I grew up reading like random comics. Any comic book I could get my hands on, I read it.
2010. Yeah.
Oh yeah, perfect. So 2010, I was an adult by then. So Scott Pilgrim was actually a comic book first, and then they made it into a video game, and then they made it into a movie. And I followed it from the comics all the way through the video game and movie. I still have the game. It's on my PlayStation. I bought it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely loved it. Michael Cera,
That guy.
Mary
Great.
Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah, I love her.
Dude, such a great cast. They even had Chris Evans in there.
I know.
It was so good. And basically, you follow Scott Pilgrim through this video game-like world of Canada. And they never really explain, like, does he actually live in a video game or not?
Yeah.
That's basically their whole reasoning is that's just how Canada is. Living in Canada is just like being in a video game. You find random power-ups. You get extra lives. When people die, they drop money. All kinds of great stuff. I think my favorite scene is at the end when he's walking through the club.
Yeah.
And they're like, password. Cool. What's the second password? Whatever. Cool. And they just let him in like the passwords. That was the best.
Bread is my favorite food.
Yeah, you can eat. I could eat that every day, all the time, and just never stop.
Bread
Yeah, but
makes
then
you
you'd
fat.
get fat.
Why?
Why? Because bread makes you fat. Bread makes you fat. Like that whole movie is just super quotable, super great.
Yeah.
I always laugh at the vegan scene.
Yes, the
fight.
vegan police.
He said, on February 2nd, you knowingly ingested chicken parmesan. Chicken's not vegan? Oh, man.
Just that genre of movie. Like, what was it? Like Juno? I feel like
Pretty much
ties in-
anything with Michael Cera.
Yeah.
It's all the
of
same
them.
genre.
And then also, like, I feel like just that time period of, like, 2008 to, like, 2012-ish with, like, Grown Ups coming out and, like, Click and all of those weird movies. Like, anything with Adam Sandler, 12 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Adam Sandler's hilarious, dude.
I cannot look. Hot take. I cannot stand Adam
Whoa!
Sandler.
Secondary hot take. My brother kind of looks like Adam Sandler.
What?
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
He
Does
kinda
he
looks
dress
Adam
like
Sandler.
him?
Sometimes,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of creepy.
In some of his
He's got a
roles, yeah.
certain aesthetic, you know?
He
Yeah.
does.
The big pants, big shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just feel like that's all very foundational as well, just to my existence. Anyways,
The only film I can stand with Adam Sandler is shoot, I can't think. Waterboy.
Waterboy,
yeah.
That was a good. Oh, that's another, like, that one.
Oh.
Mr. Deeds is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
have
What?
you ever seen?
I am very sneaky.
I've seen them, but I just like that one, and then where's the one where he's a dad?
Big Daddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
Right.
don't. Yeah, can't.
Well, you don't like your name? What do you want your name to be? Frankenstein. All right, Frankenstein.
Just anything in the 2000s, I remember very like
Yeah.
flashes of.
As you should.
Employee of the month. If you've ever seen that,
That is an
Nope.
89 Honda. How dare you? That is Dane Cook and Dax Shepard. And it is that movie is so great.
Wedding Crashers as well.
Wedding Crashers.
Oh, yeah.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Anything with Owen Wilson.
Hangover.
Hangover. Yes.
Eh,
Look, I'm not saying I like them like as much as I used to, but that was a movie like when we were teenagers that we
Oh, yeah,
definitely
no.
shouldn't have watched,
Right.
But
but
we
we
did.
were like into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
man.
of
Like
those-
that's what I'm
all
saying.
of
Like
those
that
genres.
genre of movie.
The raunchy.
Yeah, yes.
American Pie. Pretty much any
Oh,
movie
yeah.
where the title was in a red box and
Yeah.
red block letters.
Yes.
Yeah.
The like new remake of the Dukes of Hazzard in the movie
I didn't watch
form.
that.
Yep.
That was crazy.
I used to love the Dukes of Hazzard, and I have the movies as well
Yeah, you can.
with Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville.
Yes.
No,
was-
Jackass.
And Owen
Look,
Wilson.
No,
bro,
Jackass was
that was
instrumental.
that's true. I forgot
Here's the
about that.
problem, though. Here's the problem, though. The reason you forgot about it is because we did that stuff and got head injury,
Yes. bro.
so we don't remember.
They
how
literally tell you not to
instrumental-
try it at home.
Oh, yeah.
They
And
told
we
you guys.
literally ignore every warning.
Look, I was too young to watch like the show, and I think I was a little too young to watch the first movie come out. But by the time the second one did, I
was all up in it.
I was watching the illegal downloaded off of LimeWire versions of them.
Oh yeah, LimeWire.
Yeah.
Something that should never have been in existence.
Right. Absolutely not.
Well, what a fun show! What
Yeah.
what are these movies?
having fun over here with these movies and films.
Take a trip down memory lane, if you will.
Guys,
Oh,
thanks.
wait, I have one more.
One more.
When you said Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider.
I actually have not
Are
seen.
you serious? Have you seen it?
I have been to see it.
Oh, I know the
did
story.
not watch it, and we'll move on from there.
I forgot about this story.
Still haven't seen it. Sorry. Can't help you there.
Chris, what do you mean?
Don't worry about it.
Chris, why?
Don't worry about it.
You want to talk about it?
Nope.
Why not?
Don't worry about it.
Maybe it'll get off your chest. Talk about it.
No.
Oh, no.
Moving on.
Anyways, that was foundational because I saw a scene from it
That's
recently. And it was
foundational for me too.
horrible. What is...
My goal is to kill Tim with laughter.
All right, I guess we're moving on. Ghost Rider.
Start that music. Let's finish this segment.
I'll take over for Tim. We're going to head off to our next break, guys. Don't go away just yet. We've got some more fun and interesting things to talk about when we come back.
All right, everybody. We're back
your
yet
breath?
again. What'd you say?
You caught your breath?
Yeah, I caught my breath.
Good.
Had a cheese stick. I'm good.
I was worried about you, man.
Good times. Good times. Does it ever like weird you out to think about things back then, like in middle school, just how, like, it wasn't bad or anything, but it was a different time, man. Like, just totally different. I mean, I guess that's part of growing up, but man, it was just the culture and just like how things were moving
Yeah.
and what we were into.
Very different.
Very different, man. All right. Well, anyways,
I am not the same person.
let's.
We are not the same.
We had a surplus of fan questions last episode.
Good.
So many that we had to save them for this episode, and so we're going to do our best to get through them all and go through them quickly because we have a lot of them. So, Chris, are you ready to do this?
Let's go.
Harley, are you ready to do this?
I hope so.
All right, and don't forget, guys, we have an Always More hotline where you can leave us voicemails, and so you can do that at 254-218-4042.
That is, once again, 254-218-4042.
Chris
Yes.
is like over here working out.
I got to get prepped. I got to get ready for these answers. I haven't read any of these questions beforehand.
All right, so I'm
these
gonna
are all going to be off the dome.
All right, I want to save the voicemail one because we did get a voicemail. I'm going to save that for a little bit later. So the first question is from Kalina.
Yes,
Kalina?
I work with her at the library.
Oh, awesome. Would you like to do this question?
Oh, sure. So Kalina asked, how are women, differently than men, if applicable, affected by voting stations changing their hours of operation / location?
Would you like to start with this one, Harley, or?
Going out at night as a woman is terrifying. So that's just not going to work. Just not going to work.
Hot take. I say it doesn't affect women. Gender isn't real. Neither is voting. Next. Let's go.
Wow.
Just kidding. No, I'm totally kidding.
That's very ignorant of you. But I actually don't know much about what the hours of voting stations are changing to.
Yeah.
So I don't have much knowledge on if they're getting later, but I would assume they're getting later because people are at work. So when they get out, they're like, oh, now we have more time to go vote. But by that time, it's evening and it's terrifying. Is there more people to be like, oh, can watch if things go wrong? Yeah, but the bystander effect exists and people don't step in. So, yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, and I might be, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that they were actually shortening the hours to like during work times because these are more like voter suppression things. The people that would be voting in the evenings, like women and minorities, the people that can't get off work to go vote are the ones that they're trying to suppress. But you can't target those people, so you just look at what you can do to make sure that
It's
less of
inconvenient.
them vote. To
Yeah,
Create
absolutely.
less voting stations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not allowing people to like hand out water or anything in crazy long lines, having voting stations that are only open like in
From like
particular parts of
frickin-
town for this set amount of time.
Right.
It literally is a 21st century Jim Crow.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Dang.
And also one other thing that really bothers me with the voting ID laws, just because we're on the topic, when people say, oh, you shouldn't be able to vote without an ID, granted, you know, yeah, you have to prove that you are who you say you are passing a ballot. That makes sense. But those particular laws, like, for example, do not accept Native American tribal IDs. They just don't.
Wow.
So you, as a person who lives on a tribe their entire life,
Yeah.
They live on tribal lands. They never leave. Why would they need a U.S. passport
Right.
or a driver's license or whatever? They don't need it until it's time to vote, and then they can't vote.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing. So black people, Hispanics, women, any minority they can.
Right. In the same vein, I saw, and I would totally be down for this, is just making voter registration an automatic thing once you graduate or become an adult.
Should be done automatically.
Yeah.
But
There's many countries that do that, and it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I know why, but because it makes it harder for people who don't have accessible ways of doing it. It's the same reason why they try to make it out further and further away from city populations, because it's hard to travel out there. If you don't have a car, you can't get over there. So, yeah.
I hate to think that America is that corrupt, but I know it is, and that just breaks my heart.
yeah.
Yep.
It really sucks.
All right, let's move along. So I decided to keep this on this episode and not on Always More Nerd, because I think we're going to talk about it anyways, or we already did. But Fernando asked, The Dark Knight or The Batman?
Dark Knight.
The Batman.
Have you watched The Batman yet?
Nope. That's why I say Dark Knight.
I say the Batman.
Also, though, the Joker's always been my favorite villain across any comic book medium at all, Marvel or DC.
Yeah.
I have always loved the Joker. And not in, like, the weird, like...
Hero worship kind of way. Just, you like the psychological analysis as to
like
why.
the science behind the Joker. Like, I like all of that. Not one of those weird, like, nice guys that has a Joker profile picture on Facebook or whatever. Those guys are weird.
I think you'll appreciate this Riddler then.
Yeah, I feel because that makes them not really comparable, because this plot line in the Batman is not about the Joker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I like the Joker so much,
That's his favorite. Yeah.
Dark Knight is probably...
But that's what I'm saying. It still cannot be.
Oh, she's saying that you can't use that as an excuse, is what she's saying.
Pretty much.
Okay, well, I'll watch
Because
the Batman at some point, and I'll let you know what I thought.
Okay, cool. I've actually heard some really negative reviews about it from some of my classmates.
The Dark Knight or Batman?
The Batman.
If somebody wanted to take me to see the Batman, I would watch the Batman.
I invited you, and I changed my schedule to try to go, and then you backed out. Don't you dare try to do that to me. How dare you?
Jinkies.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tim.
Jesus.
My word against yours.
I'm going to say... I've been trying to think about this too recently, because there is a recency bias with this. But also at the same time, I watched Dark Knight as a high schooler, so I really, you can count cult.
Right.
Or culture.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think the cinematography and don't get me wrong, I love Christopher Nolan. What he did, I'll say this. If it wasn't for the Dark Knight trilogy, this wouldn't have happened, I don't think.
Probably not.
Christopher Nolan transformed superhero movies in a way.
I agree.
Prior to this, Batman was just totally different. And so there's different reasons to like each. I think just cinema alone, I'm going to go with the Batman. I like some of the characters better in The Dark Knight, so I kind of lean that way a little bit more. But as far as like the Batman character, I liked better in the Batman. Personally, I'm not a Batman fan, so I did enjoy seeing something that was new and fresh and something that was more detective-y, which I appreciate in the Batman. So, yeah, I think I slightly lean towards the Batman.
All right.
Are we ready for the audio question?
Yes, I think so.
All right, let's have the volume up, and we got a voicemail, so let's hear it.
Hey, my name is Rob, a big fan of the show. I actually went to college and I worked with Harley. But I don't care if you use this for the Always More Nerd podcast or the regular Always More podcast. Big fan of the show, like I said. But I'm about to see the Batman for the third time. I love it. And my question to you is, have you seen it? What'd you think about it? And if you want a sequel, what Batman villain would you bring into the sequel, and who would you cast as that villain? All right, keep up the good work.
All right, so we kind of already answered the first two questions. Thank you, by the way, Rob, for the voicemail question.
Thanks, Rob. It's so good to hear from you.
But I was really intrigued by this question, because I always like to fan cast too in my head. So, Chris, I don't know if you knew this, but they did have a Joker scene in this movie.
I did. I watched the Joker scene on YouTube because I don't care about spoilers.
and that's why I assumed you already saw it. What did you think about that scene?
I thought it was really interesting. I don't know how I feel about the casting it's like you can't beat Heath Ledger. Like you just can't.
Right.
There's no way. I was hoping they were going to use the kid from Gotham, Cameron
Really?
Monaghan.
I don't think he fit. I mean, I don't know. I have iffy things about him.
I thought he was a really good Joker, personally. But I mean, they can always do 1,000 different things with the Joker because it was literally just that little 5-minute scene. So
Right.
they could go anywhere with it. He might do a good job. He might not. We'll see.
Who? I don't know who it is. I did not spoil
the
that
guy who
for me.
plays Druig in Eternals.
You're kidding.
No, he did. I think he did really well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm trying to remember his name. Like, for the life of me, I cannot remember his name.
Oh.
Yeah. And they put a lot of makeup on him. He very much looks like Death in the Family Joker, or resembles that anyways.
Barry Keoghan.
Yeah. So I personally like.
I think
Again,
that'll be fun.
I'm not a huge Batman fan, but I think he did great. You know.
I think that scene was interesting.
Oh yeah.
It piqued people's interest in what's to come.
Yeah. I think so. To recap, the villains that we have in this new Batman universe are the Penguin, which he's getting his own show, which that should be interesting. You have Riddler. Wait, wasn't there one more? Because I guess Falcone is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's it.
Spoilers.
You knew that. You knew that. I know you know it.
It's been a couple weeks since this movie came out. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think the people listening will be okay.
One of the villains I do want to see because I haven't seen him yet in a Batman live action film is Hush. I think that would be.
Oh.
I think that would be
I
interesting.
don't know enough
Yeah.
of the
He would-
Batman villains.
Hush
so.
was one of Batman's, Bruce Wayne's best friends growing up.
Yeah.
And they were very similar social circles, very similar financial, social standing, all of that stuff. But Hush,
Don't ruin the twist too much because look, the reason why I say this is because I ruined. I think I've said this on the pod before because I ruined Gwen Stacy for Jess and how she dies.
Yeah.
So be careful what you say here next.
Okay. Hush is just one of those villains that gets under Batman's skin. Like, he knows who the Batman is, but he doesn't, like, put it out there into the world. He just uses that
Against
to,
him?
yeah.
And
to
it
hurt
doesn't he
Batman.
have a connection with the Riddler? Like, isn't there some? I'm trying to remember, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously, I don't know if you knew this part, but he was actually, or the word hush was mentioned in the Batman movie.
Oh, was it?
Yes. It was like a very quick moment, but it was definitely there. So I think that's a very real possibility if Matt Reeves decides to continue this. I think we will eventually see Hush come in.
Okay.
That's cool.
As far as fan casting, I'm trying to think of, because you got to think of some other, he's a doctor, right?
They're all doctors.
Well, it's true. But I'm trying to think of like a young, strapping young man who could play. What's his real name? Is it Elliot? Is that his name?
Yeah. I want to say Thomas Elliot.
Is it a white man or a person of color?
Yeah, it's a white man.
But they can change that. That's
This is true. They can't?
Not if they're going to go with the Hush comic book plot line.
I don't remember why that's relevant.
No,
Yeah, I don't remember. Again, I've a lot of these Batman comics I've just brushed on and I've seen little pieces of it, and so I don't know the
Right.
deep storylines with everything. But anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I don't have a fan casting.
Isn't there like a mud monster or something?
Clayface.
Clayface, yeah.
Yeah.
You think they'll actually do that?
No.
Not in this universe. I have seen people wanting a Mr. Freeze in this universe.
I was going to say Mr. Freeze would be great.
I don't. I think
The movie's too realistic, I feel.
that's me. That's me. Justin on Always More Nerd, he said, I don't think so. I think they could branch it out and
Yeah.
try to explore.
I think they would kind of have to.
it just
like
feels weird
the
to
whole point
Me too.
behind Gotham's villains, like the rogues, is they just get more crazy as time goes on.
Yeah, but
there's something-
He's already going to be against like the reality of literal gods in his presence. You've got Dr.
but maybe not in
Fate,
this
you've got
universe.
Superman.
It's like Joker movie. Like
Not
that is
yet.
that is
this is year 2 Batman.
I know that, but I mean, it's not exactly that. Like, they didn't say, hey, this is year 2 Batman. Yes, I know it's obviously the similar themes, but it's like the Joker movie. Like, obviously, that is set in a super hyper-real scenario where, like, this is the only way it could happen in our world.
Right, yeah.
And so
I feel like the way they set it up for this movie, they made it too realistic for, like, a, like, natural human reality. So to add these, like, fictional, powerful characters would just be it'd be uncomfortable, I feel.
Riddler makes sense in this universe. Even Joker in a way makes sense. Like
because he's just psychotic.
Well, yeah. And so that's I want more psychological villains for Batman. And I'm not saying Freeze can't be, but I think that's where I would want it to go, which is why I want Hush.
Okay. I would like to see
Timothy
Chalamet. As Hush.
He could do
as Hush. That'd be a good cast.
He's a good-looking man.
That would
He
be a
could do
good
it.
casting.
The age difference in him and Robert Pattinson is too obvious.
I mean,
I'm looking up his age right now.
Age him up a little bit.
That's true.
I would like to see, and this is definitely the creepy comic book guy in me, but I would like to see Poison Ivy.
I was thinking that too, actually. Yes.
I would love to see Pam Isley, Poison Ivy, but like a more realistic take than the Uma Thurman.
Right.
Uma Thurman obviously did a great job for what she was supposed to do. I don't know who I would cast as Poison Ivy. And I'm looking through like fan castings and stuff to see if there's anybody good.
Have you ever seen Riverdale? It's like a cringe TV show.
Oh.
You know the redhead in
Madeline
that one?
Pesh.
Yeah.
She would do a phenomenal
Absolutely.
job.
Okay, you are right about his age. It's 10 years difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you could still age him up, but I that is a good point.
I just feel like the Robert Pattinson Batman looks too grungy and seasoned and
that was my thought.
Depressed and
But that was my thought with Timothy, is because he is a phenomenal actor. Like if you've seen what is the one with him and Steve Carell? Oh my gosh, what is that film? Beautiful Boy. That he is my God, like it is not just hype. He is a great actor.
Oh.
yeah, but he's a little frat boy.
Let's do these real quick. John
You
C.
haven't
Riley.
seen the memes about that?
No.
Oh, okay.
John C. Riley as Professor Pig. I would
That's too
die
on
for
the
this one.
nose.
I would die for this one.
That's too much on the nose.
Christoph Waltz as Hugo Strange.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I didn't know I needed that until now.
Yep.
Yes. You know who that is?
Christoph Waltz was the bad guy in Inglourious Bastards. He played Spectre.
That's a
the
bingo.
bad guy in Spectre, James Bond. He played the white guy that released Django in Django.
Oh,
The doctor.
German-
German
oh,
guy.
Oh, he's the TikTok sound. It's like a reward.
no.
It's a millennial TikTok,
Yep.
I guess.
That's not.
I know who you're talking about from.
Ooh, Alden Einrich as Hush.
Who's that
It
again?
was Tommy Elliott. We were right. I don't know, but he looks like he could do it. Alden Einrich. Let's find out. Man.
Well,
see-
Rob, the answer to your question is there's so many things.
There's many
I
variables.
think, Chris, you and I are on the same page. I think we want to see a lot of these 90s Batman villains,
I want to give him a second chance.
Yeah.
Yep.
As much as they were
Starting with
revolutionary at the
Poison Ivy.
time, well, I take that back. Like the first few were revolutionary. After that, they were horrible.
Let's see.
Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, and who else? I can't even remember. I blocked out some of those movies. Oh, we can get a Rob. We need a Red Hood, or yeah.
Red Hood.
Oh, we could. He's too young though.
Look,
He's
if
too
we're
young.
if we're
Timothy
doing
Chalamet.
if we're doing Red
Honestly.
Hood, cast Red Panda from TikTok. The dude I've sent you the comic book TikToks about.
Yeah.
I think he would do a great job. Truthfully,
I think he could do it.
he could do it. The guy from Han Solo.
Oh, yes. He
Alden
would be a
Ehrenreich.
good Elliot.
He'd be a good Hush.
Yeah, I see that. Good pick. Good
Yeah.
pick. Rob,
All right.
good question, man. Thank you. I appreciate
Moving
it.
on.
All right, we got to keep going. This is the last question for today, and that is Mario. He asked, "Do you believe in the if you can't handle my worst, you don't deserve my best mindset?" I'm curious because there are very low people in the world, and sometimes it takes leaving a person for them to change. This brings me personally back to a lot of evangelical type of mindset about wanting to change people and wanting to be the light in their life. To me, these days, I'm like, no. I mean, unless you're already in a long-term committed relationship and there's no abuse happening, then I can see how that could happen, and maybe you want to fix things. But as far as like you dating someone or even friendships, life is too stressful.
I feel like this puts a lot of pressure on the other person.
Right.
Like, because I've seen me at my worst, and I wouldn't want to put anyone through that. The fact that Janelle puts up with me is just like
Right.
God tier of a woman there. My best is pretty good, I think, and she absolutely deserves my best all the time. I know I can't give her that, but it's not up to me to say, well, if you can't handle me at my lowest points, then you don't deserve my highest points.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody deserves my highest points. And if I can't level it out, that's a me issue. That's not a her issue.
Right. I think a lot of it has to do with, and this is, you can't put this on a piece of paper, but it really comes down to attitude and how are you actually trying to be your best. I think if you're purposely trying to better yourself and change yourself, then yeah, sure, there's wiggle room. But if you're just deliberately using it using your personality as an excuse, using your sign as an excuse or whatever, then that's...
I'm just a Scorpio. That's all I am.
Then obviously I think it's some BS. But if you're genuinely trying to be a better person, then I think if you're trying to have that, then that quote won't be in your mind anyways.
I think
Right.
that quote is pointless on a mass scale. It's on a case-to-case basis.
Yeah.
Like, it's up to me to decide if I think your lowest moments are worth it.
Right.
Right.
It has nothing to do with you saying, well, it's my way or the highway. You know, that's basically what it is. It's like, you take what I give you and you like it.
Yeah.
No, like, it's my decision.
Toxic.
If I think you're worth it, I'll put in the effort. And when I get the high moments from you, great. When I have to deal with the low moments, it's my decision. I think it's worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't got nothing. I'm not seasoned enough in life to have a good answer.
Even then, like even with like my daughter, I'm thinking about Ari and her friendships, and I want her to, yes, be friends with people, and in the same way that Chris has been patient with me, I want her to be patient with her friends.
Right.
But I also want there to be effort. I want there to be a consensual agreement that, hey, we're going to try to be our best
For each
friends
other,
or
yeah.
relationships. It doesn't matter what type of relationship. If someone is deliberately repeating the same things over and over again, the same like weaknesses and faults, then obviously there's a trend. And
They're not trying to be better.
yeah. So,
Yeah, obviously, some people's best is absolutely not worth it. Because, like, if at your best you're bringing me a coffee, great. But if at your worst you're, like, kicking my dog,
right.
why would I want to put up with that for a cup
Right.
of coffee? Like,
Yeah.
it's not worth it. So I think it's important to know where your personal line is before you can say that question applies.
Right. Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, everyone, for submitting your questions. And don't forget to leave us a voicemail. We love hearing y'all's voices and having you guys a part of the conversation.
To be honest, I did not expect Rob to sound like that.
What do you think he sounded like?
I don't know. It just wasn't that.
Yeah, there's another Rob, actually, I know that it does not sound that way. I was just like, oh, hey, that's
Yeah.
a different Rob. And I'm not talking about Robert, our friend Robert Edwards. I love that dude. I miss him.
He also sounds different.
Yeah, all these Robs. I mean, who knew? People.
I thought Rob's all
Who would have
sounded the
thought
same.
people were different? You
No,
know?
I thought all Robs sounded the same.
Guys, that brings us to the end of our show. Any final thoughts before we start this closer?
I like movies.
Yeah, it's good to reminisce on movies that made you into who you are.
Indeed. We'll have to do something like this with shows, because I've been rewatching a lot of shows lately that we grew up on, like
Too many
Scrubs
shows.
and How I
Too
Met Your
many
Mother.
shows.
And
We can't do a TV show episode.
Maybe we
Too
could do
many
like
shows.
actors or something.
Too many actors.
That's
Just
true.
too many out there.
also,
Or
before
music. We could totally do music.
we just did music.
What?
Where were you at?
I
It was
don't know.
December.
It was before you
Oh,
started.
mother.
Maybe we'll do another one in December for our next year Spotify Wrapped.
Oh, that's good idea.
Genius. Okay, cool.
We'll do it once a year.
Before I forget, guys, submit to us what you want to hear us talk about. We want your ideas about topics
Yeah.
to have conversations
Because
about.
we're running out of topics.
That's not true, but a lot of the things that we want to talk about are just
We're running out of good topics.
there you go. And we don't want to necessarily just talk about current event things. That's good and fine sometimes, but at the same time, it's just we kind of want a distraction from that, and that's what these conversations are sometimes. So, yeah. So submit us, please. Let us know what you want to hear about, because we would love to talk about them.
I recently had a recommendation for the senses. So like touch, hear, sight, smell.
Like, what's our favorite sense?
Yeah, or like just things of that nature, or like what you associate, or like that kind of stuff.
I think my favorite sense is probably.
We'll talk about it on an episode, Goober.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Ugh.
It's taste.
All right, guys, it's time to close this.
That's a Millie Rock you.
Thank you all again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a positive rating on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at AlwaysMorePod. Chris, where can we find you?
I'm on Instagram like once a month at Captain_CT Ford. I am on TikTok like every day at Christopher.Lionheart.
And Harley, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Instagrams at whatharley, and you can find me on TikTok at harleybean.co.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Timothy Lichty, and on TikTok at Tim Lichty. It's Liechty. And thank you again for listening and for being a part of the conversation. And remember, there's always more than this. Bye, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Always More podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, share, like, and rate on whatever your platform of preference is. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod. If you'd like to submit a question, you can ask us on any of our social media platforms, or you can leave us a voicemail at 254-218-4042. If you'd like to feed into our caffeine addiction as well as support the podcast financially, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/alwaysmorepod. For further information and to contact us, you can email us at alwaysmorepodcast@gmail.com.